Hey, a few days ago I posted a video of sort of promoting the upcoming WarSaw, spelled war and saw, not Warsaw, which is the city in Poland where it takes place, tournament. And right now I wanted to show you the meta from the last time this tournament was held. Last time it was a 22-man tournament. I think this time they are aiming for 44, so they're doubling in size, which is really cool. And I got all the lists from last time, and they really intrigued me because there's something odd going on with the Polish meta. Um, and I felt this at the WCC. I've played against Poland twice, and they have their lists are not what I would expect. So I went back and looked through the Warsaw 2022, and this is what I came up with. Come and watch with me. So the event itself was 22 players. In the end, Christoph played against Maciek in the finals. They are both WTC members, and I met them both at WCC in Poland and in Cork. And they were playing with Juggerpack, so free LMGs for your full strength units and a bonus to stationary MMG teams. And slot points to buy extra units in. 1,000 points, single platoon. So what does this give us? I had ideas going into that. What would I bring in this pack? But I was definitely surprised at what the Poles did. Order dice wise, they were very, very low. They had between 19 and 17 order dice, and the average was 12.9, which is very, very low in my book. Um, the most the most common list had 12 order dice. Almost half of the lists had 12 order dice. So there was one list at 9, a very strange list. I'm going to come back to that one. And then they had one list at 11, and then 9 lists at 10, at 12 order dice. 9 lists out of 22. There were 7 in the range of 13 to 14, and 3 in the range of 15 to 17. So for me, that is moving down the order dice scale into the 12, where I would say 13 is the lowest I would ever go. So already here we can see the meta difference from what the Poles are doing to what is happening here. The nations they were bringing also surprised me a little bit, because they had only 2 British and 4 Soviets. That makes 6 combined of what I would think of as the best nations. They had 7 German nations, 7 German lists, 4 Japanese and 2 American lists. So the balance between nations is also way off in my estimation here. There was 1 Polish and 1 Italian as well. Um, I was surprised. I have to say, I was really surprised at what was happening here. It was just not what I had expected at all. I guess the shift to the Jugger pack sort of helps a little bit for the Germans, um, but still, I was really surprised. I think there are some discounts in the Jugger pack for German armor, and I think maybe that had something to do with what happened here. The army builds themselves, not that surprising. There was a lot of pseudo tank lists. I also see this when people can bring armor, they do, because armor is just such a useful tool, and the enemy have to bring designated anti-tank capabilities if they want to fight against you. But there were 13 pseudo armor tank lists here. That is quite a lot. That's more than half. And they had a wide range of builds, from Hanomag spam to the Soviet double Stewart double BA-20. Loads of different build outs for how to build those pseudo tank lists. Lots of them had 2 tanks and an armored car. So really a lot of focus on that. Um, and especially also, of course, the universal carriers, so and stuff like that in the transport section. There was one new basher list, multi-rocket spam list, and 4 Death Star lists. I don't expect these Death Star lists to have done very well. One of them was a very weird one, which I alluded to previously, that had brought a Panther and a Goliath. I do not expect that player to have done well at all. That doesn't work. And there were 3 Horde lists. Um, I had expected to see way more mixed bag lists or gunline armies, maybe even, but they did not appear at all. There was an element of mixed bag with many of these Soto tank lists for the rest of his infantry and support for most of them, but um, I was just, yeah, I was really surprised. One of the Death Star lists had brought that Panther. One of them had a KV-2, which is also a huge and very expensive tank. And one of them had brought Death Star infantry, so very, very expensive German fanatical SS cavalry in large units. So those were some of the Death Star lists. Yeah. So I also wanted to show you the top 2 lists, Christoph's and Maciek's lists, the 2 lists that fought in the finals. So let's go and watch those here. I'm sorry, I have a dog that's bugging me. Want to say hi? Hi to YouTube. This is Saga. She is my dad's dog. I am babysitting her right now, and right now she is baying for attention. Right. So I will start out with the winning list here. This is Maciek's list. It had 13 order dice, 1,000 points. And in this meta, 13 order dice is actually pretty high. So I'm guessing that Maciek, in most of his matchups, had a slight order dice advantage. He's bringing a junior lieutenant and LMG squads, full strength LMG squads, where they get the free LMG because of the Jugger pack. A Frotnik Commissar, which is always nice to get one of those in. Another LMG squad, that's the third one with a free LMG in it. A rifle squad, inexperienced stuff, all of that was inexperienced. So this is basically a horde build, what we see from the infantry here, right? That's 4 full strength units of inexperienced dudes. That's quite a lot of troops, a lot of bodies. Then we have the machine gun, because the Jugger team, the Jugger pack makes that more usable. And then we have a heavy mortar, inexperienced, lovely. You don't need it to be regular. Inexperienced is perfectly fine. You're just going to shoot, right? Dog mines, yes, inexperienced. I would have brought more, I think, dog mines in a meta where there was so many tank platoons, but he is bringing a lot of other stuff, so one may be enough. A BA-20 with the flamethrower turret, that is really a strong choice for an armored car. Of course, if it does run out, well, that sucks, but yeah, they can really mess up an army. I played a game recently, a practice game, where I lost 2 whole units of veterans to 1 BA-20. Could not get it to stop, could not kill it. And then Stuart Light Tank, and then he uses slot points to buy another BA-20 and another Stuart Light Tank. So this is a horde combined with a Soto tank platoon. Very, very strong choices. All of it really good. The infantry is dangerous. It has a lot of shots. It will not kill quite a lot, but it will be dangerous because you have the option of actually going and charging, because you have that much infantry. 12 man is really dangerous. Now he was facing off against Christoph. Both of these guys are from the WTC team. Christoph was the captain in Cork for the Polish team, And Maciek, I think you were the captain in Poznan, weren't you? I think so. Now, Christoph was using Japanese. 17 order dice, 998 points, a regular lieutenant, infantry squads, again 11 man, so he's also using those free LMGs here. 2 of those 11 man units, a Kempetai political officer, an engineer squad, and 2 late war militia squads. Again, full strength, large units. I can't remember if these are allowed to take an LMG, but if they were, then that would be free for these guys as well. Now, this is the weird part. Christoph's army list here, it has 2 flamethrowers in the list. For a Japanese list, that is highly unusual. And at the same time, he brings a sniper team, by the way. At the same time, he is bringing trucks and another engineer team here. So 3 flamethrowers, 2 of them in trucks, 1 of them in a Kuragani. This is a barbecue list combined with a Japanese horde, and it has practically 0 anti-tank. Yes, they do have these suicide anti-tank teams, but they're very difficult to actually get to impact with enemy tanks. Although when they do, of course, they murder the tank. 8+ will kill anything. But they're very difficult to get up to that enemy tank. Unless you have a clear order dice advantage, which, let's just check out. What was it again? 17? Yes, most of the time, Christoph will have had that order dice advantage. So that might actually have happened in some of the games, but he has no, I repeat, not one single piece of ranged anti-tank. Not one. What he does have is the flamethrowers. He can throw that up, but that will have been really a difficult matchup against Maciek's BA-20s and Stewart's, because what is Christoph going to do? If he moves up, he's going to get shot at. If he doesn't move up, he's going to sit there, and Christoph is going to use his LMGs and heavy mortar, and just start pounding him. So for me, my money would be on Maciek in this matchup, although Christoph does have the order dice to actually fight this out. So thank you so much for showing us all your lists, and I look very much forward to seeing what happens this year around with the WarSaw tournament. Cheers, everyone.